top 100k bitches. What's up guys, JNO here, and welcome to JNO United. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the content, and remember, it's all about the game. What's up guys, JNO here. Welcome today to FPL Gameweek 24 preview. We're getting close to the end now boys, and we're getting close to that time of the year when the double game weeks come into effect. We're looking at a possible Man City and Newcastle double game week coming soon. But before we get into that, let's have a look at the team I'm hoping to do well with going into game week 24. Now as you can see, we are currently lining up with Butland in goal, with Aaron Cresswell, Ashley Williams and Toby Alderweireld in the defence, with Dimitri Payet, Dele Alli, Roberto Firmino and Mesut Ozil in the midfield, with Odion, Ighalo, Sergio Aguero and Harry Kane as the front three, captaining Aguero against a Sunderland side that usually concede goals, with Dimitri Payet coming up against Aston Villa as my vice-captain. Kevin De Bruyne had to go, but I'm probably going to keep a transfer because I've got two. I've used Firmino in for Kevin De Bruyne, but I've still got another transfer, and as long as the FA Cup games don't bring up any injuries, I'm going to keep that transfer and hopefully take advantage of a Man City double game week, which could be in game week 25, but the fact that it hasn't been announced yet makes me wonder if it will be later than that. We have Fabianski on the bench, who may very well come in for Butland. I might make a last minute swap purely because West Brom don't usually score that many, and sometimes Swansea's defence look pretty solid, but Man United don't usually score that many either at the moment, so who knows which keeper I'm going to go with. Some people are saying I should play Albrighton instead of Firmino because it's Leicester at home, and Liverpool haven't exactly been rock solid as far as consistency goes. Then we have Simpson and Azpilicueta, and again, could Chelsea keep a clean sheet? They haven't been doing it recently, but who knows, Azpilicueta could always come up with a goal. In the Certified Super League, we've got Benteke Fried Chicken, who's in fourth at the moment, and a win against me could catapult him up to second place. Rob H26, who is top of the league, is coming up against Chop Suey, who is further down the table, so it's one of those games I really need to win if I want to keep up with Rob H26. Benteke Fried Chicken got 37 points last game week. He has Defoe, Lukaku and Kane up front. Lukaku's been blanking recently, but it wouldn't surprise me if he got on the score sheet this game week. We have Jermaine Defoe, who he captained, which was a bold choice. If it had paid off for him, he'd have been laughing and I'd have been saying what a great choice. He's got Mesut Ozil, Dele Alli, Willian and Barkley. Everton have some good fixtures coming up soon, so Barkley could be a dangerous person to own. Toby Alderweireld, Sagna and Koscielny. It's the back three with Butland in goal. He's also got Cech on the bench, and I'm presuming he's going to play Cech, but he might play Butland. It's one of those where both games the team could keep a clean sheet and they might not. Dimitri Payet and Cresswell on the bench, so he obviously didn't think they were going to do that well in the last game week, and then Kurt Zouma on the bench as well. If we have a look at the fixtures, we can see an Arsenal-Southampton game, which I think Arsenal will really want to win after what happened in the reverse fixture. We have Leicester versus Liverpool. That game could go either way. Both teams on form can be almost unbeatable, but both teams have also shown a dip in form at times recently, so who knows who's going to win that game. Norwich versus Spurs, I expect Spurs to walk all over Norwich with the way they're currently playing. Dele Alli and Kane, I'm looking at you two to score me some points, and I'm hoping for a clean sheet. Man City coming up against Sunderland. Aguero had some good form up there, up north last year, so hopefully he can do the same this year. West Ham versus Villa, I'm looking for a West Ham win, but West Ham have a tendency of not doing well against sides they should beat. Palace Bournemouth could go either way. Charlie Daniels though at the moment is looking like a great pick purely because of his goal scoring prowess as well as his penalty taking duties, so I might have to bring him in at some time because he is still quite cheap. Man United versus Stoke, this is the type of game that Stoke turn up for, so could Stoke do the same as they did when Man United came visiting them? West Brom Swansea, West Brom don't score that often. Swansea look like they've got a new striker in who could take some time to actually gel with the team, so I'm looking at quite a low scoring game there. Everton Newcastle, Newcastle bought a lot of players in, could take time for them to gel as well, but we'll see what happens there. They've definitely looked a better team since they got John Joe Shelvey though, but John Joe Shelvey's that double-edged sword who could do really well and then could have a moment of madness. Then we have Watford versus Chelsea. I'm hoping Watford win. Kind of like seeing a big club down in the bottom half of the table. And Watford have done some great business this January, so we could see what happens there. And finally, there's no fancy graphics, nothing too extravagant in this episode as far as my tips for the up and coming game week. What I will say though is keep your eye out on the fixtures, because Man City and Liverpool have got to the Carling Cup final, which means they will play each other in game week 27, which means there could be double game weeks early if they bring a game forward. Possible game week 25 could be a double game week for Man City and Newcastle. And as soon as I know any more, and as soon as an announcement is made, it will make it into a review or a preview, what the double game weeks will be, what teams will be blanking on certain double game weeks as well, so you don't want too many of one team's players if they're not playing in the game week. I will try and keep you as up to date as possible on that as things progress. But thank you so much for tuning in. I've been JNO, you've been awesome, and remember, it's all about the game.